Welcome back, part 2 of Project 425, the Desmo recommission project. We are hiding from the rain, Dan.
We are.
And what we're about to do today is, what you're about to do today is carefully remove the clothes on this bike so that we can take a look, A, at what we're dealing with, and B, show everyone what's underneath. About £10,000 worth of panels. We've had a little look on eBay. You can buy a piece like this, cost you 2,600 quid. I know these are about 2,600 quid, so all up, the bodywork that you're looking at here that we're about to remove is about £10,000 worth.
About 10,000. Yeah.
Which is, I'm nervous, I don't know about you. Even touching this thing is...
it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool, yeah. So, once we've got the clothes off, we'll have a little bit more of an idea about what to do next.
Yeah, that's right. We'll just get a bit of a list together and, you know, give everything a good once over, really.
So fluids out as well?
Fluids out, we drain the tank, drain the oil, cooling system, and just go through the whole lot with a fine tooth comb.
Yep. And at one point that Dan made earlier that was interesting that I would have messed up almost immediately is we were talking about how we don't know the mileage on this bike, and Dan made the point of saying, well, once we've removed the tank, we'll be able to flick the ignition on without the fuel pump priming and possibly pushing old fuel through an old pump through corroded lines.
Yeah, exactly that.
Again, I'd have just flicked the key on because that's what I do. Right, let's get stuck in, mate. Take some stuff off and see what we've got.
So first of all, we're just going to start off by taking the fairings off, really, and just having a good look underneath.
What are you on, Dan? What are you doing?
I'm going to do the fairing side on the front right. So a little look.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll relax eventually, but even the thought of putting tools on a bike like this, I just remind myself with my mechanical ineptitude of that dodgy doctor out of The Simpsons. Hi everybody, that guy who's never done a day's training in his life but ends up whipping Homer's spleen out and stuff like that. That's me when it comes to the tools. So I'll be the one just taking my time and doing my best not to anything else.
So even like these rusty screws, we're going to be replacing absolutely everything that looks like that.
All direct from the factory as well, the parts that we're going to get.
Yeah.
So nothing, no eBay Chinese.
No eBay Chinese.
Special garbage sets, mate. Look at that.
Cool.
It's £2.5 grand right there. That's used as well. £2.5 grand for a used one off eBay. I don't even think you need to squint to be able to see the bloodline with the bike that Lorenzo and Davizioso are riding this year, where that comes up and cuts away like that. Just chatting about how little there is to this bike in terms of once this subframe's off. Got that tiny trellis frame around that motor which now looks massive.
Right, now we'll gently prise it up.
Right.
So we've got basically a couple of breathers under here.
Oh yeah, let me get them.
Yeah. You can even smell how stale the fuel is.
Yeah. Feels like it's probably half a tank of however old this stuff is. Oh, look at that, Dan.
Very nice shiny carbon fibre airbox.
And it looks like, if you have a look there, you can see that this was made on Valentine's Day 2008. There we go. Just one thing on that actually, I know there's been quite a few bile-filled comments in the YouTube section for this video, talking about the previous owner and how dare he let something get like this and all that kind of garbage. This bike was part of it was locked in a probate deal, so obviously the previous owner absolutely cherished this bike when he owned it, and then unfortunately when he passed away it was just locked up for pretty much 8 of its 10 years. So so fear not, it wasn't some kind of ruthless millionaire that didn't know what he was doing and just bought it on a whim and let it rust away in his garden. It's just been sat. These things happen. Yeah, so just to clear that one up, if you're thinking about trying to find out what the deal was with the backstory on this bike, that's all it is. We're lucky enough to be able to work on it now and play with it, and unfortunately it's come to us because of that probate thing. So there you go. You know what that is?
These are basically vacuum off of the inlet tracks.
Right.
I presume possibly to balance the throttle bodies.
Oh yeah, you can see there 4, 3, 1, 2.
Yeah, that's right. So they basically pop off. You can put them on a throttle body, like a car balancer, as it were.
Yeah.
And basically see what it's producing there.
Come and have a look at this stuff. I think these are the bits that you guys at home have been waiting to see, much like we have. Just the amount of carbon fibre. With a lot of modern road bikes, you could take the pretty panels off, and underneath it you're never really going to see what's going on, so you get this kind of mass-produced nature of modern sports bikes. But with this, everything is carbon fibre. Run it down. So we've got
Total miles 1360. Not bad.
No. Kettle on, oil out.
No, what we're going to do, I think it's probably a good idea at this stage, before we dump the oil out, you know, even cracking that sump bolt, we'll give Ducati UK a call.
Yep.
Give them the chassis number, see if there's any recalls outstanding.
So kettle on anyway.
Kettle on anyway.
Sweet, I can
Get
do
the
that.
pot noodles on the go.
I can do that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of mank, Dan. There's a lot of kind of surface corrosion on the heads of some of these bolts and all these cases and everything around here. Does that mean that we're going to replace every single one of these? There doesn't look like there's anything wrong with them. Just looks like they need a clean.
Yeah. You know, we don't need to go that over the top with. You know, there's no point in spending money if we don't need to. So.
Yep.
We'll just go around everything, and every nut and bolt that is rusty we will replace.
Yep.
If they just need a clean, we'll clean them.
Yep.
And again, with you know, things like the alley, it's not that bad really.
It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
No, it just needs a good deep clean.
Yeah.
Silly little things like, you know, a lot of people probably wouldn't may disagree, but all the coolant hoses would be replaced.
Yeah.
Just out of a safety precaution, really.
Yeah.
Things go brittle, especially being in a damp garage.
Yeah.
So we replace them. So we've pretty much done everything that we can do today, really, without making a couple of phone calls regarding the recalls, etc.
You know, on the face of it, we thought when we got this in that it was going to be like a ship's anchor when we got the panels off, but it's not actually as bad as we thought.
It's actually quite a clean bike. You're just going to have to get your hands dirty cleaning now, John. And then really, it's a lovely bike. So the next thing that we do really is get a list together, see what we need, make a couple of phone calls, and go from there.
All right. Well, I'm just going to chuck this back to the cameraman and say, now is a really, really good time for some gratuitous naked Desmo shots. Take it away.